Hey guys, SK here, back with another Clash Royale video. And my friends, it is time. The CRL 2022 20-win challenge is officially underway. It's been out as of about 6 hours right now. I'm going to be playing with this Xbow Archer Queen Rocket deck, currently at 14 wins and 1 loss, and I just beat Giant Double Prince with Miner, pretty hard matchup. And I've been playing with Xbow Cycle, and it's been really hard. All these Goblin Drill decks in the meta, all these other ridiculous hard counters, like there's no better way to put it than just really stupid matchups I've been getting. I mean, E-Giant Mirror, Lightning, RG Lightning, so much Logbait Cycle with Rocket. So I actually got 16 wins on my last attempt with 3.0, and I also got 10 wins on my first attempt, which was pretty bad, but I didn't play the best. That was kind of a warm-up run, I guess. But getting into the first match here against what looks to be a Japanese player, and so I'm going to be playing with this QueenBow deck. This is kind of one of the best old Xbow decks before the balance changes, and then obviously Fire Spirit was nerfed, so people kind of stepped away from this deck, but I am personally still quite comfortable with it, at least over 3.0. I'm going to go for an Xbow here because he just went bowler, and that won't actually tank for the Xbow in time. He's going to actually have to play something else, and Queen, I doubt, is what he wanted to play. It seems like kind of an awkward thing to just tank for your tower with an Archer Queen, I feel like, so that was really nice. And Queen, sadly, is going to get yet another hit on my Xbow, but we are still locked on a tower right now. Going to block this Valk at the bridge with a Knight, and just like that, we are in a really nice spot, I feel like, because we are up by about 1,000 damage. Gonna pressure with a Fire Spirit too, should force something out. Yeah, Baby Dragon forced out, so this looks like it's gonna be probably a graveyard deck, if I had to guess, because the Bowler and the Baby Dragon as well. Don't think it would really be like E-Giant or Golem, since he has the Queen in there as well. And I thought he would Tornado there, so that's why I held off on my ability, but just gonna log with my ability now. NATO's forced out, but this will still get another hit if I really, if he doesn't respond, I mean. And that's another hit, so just like that, we're up 1,200 damage in the first minute and a half of this game. And this is why I love QueenBow so much, and just Archer Queen in general. It's like, this meta is so bad for 3.0 Cycle. I tried, and I'm actually quite stressed right now because I did not have a good time at all with those matchups in my last 2 attempts. And I really did want to get this with 3.0 Cycle. By the way, that was a really bad Queen. I guess he didn't know I had Rocket. I don't think I'd played a Rocket yet in this game, but still, that's a free Rocket. Gonna Fire Spirit as well, and then I think I'll just defensive Xbow into this Bowler. He actually does let the Fire Spirit lock on, so just like that, we are basically already in Spell Cycle range on his tower. But defensive Xbow will do a great job against this Bowler. It does go for a Graveyard, so it is going to be a Graveyard deck. I was thinking it's going to be either Graveyard or Balloon. There's the Freeze as well, so Graveyard Freeze. So whenever they go for a Freeze like that, you just want to get a nice log to take out all the accumulated skeletons. And yeah, we're totally fine. He goes for a Queen, predicting my Xbow, and I'm just going to defensive Xbow. There was no real need to actually go in defensively there because, or offensively rather, because I am playing Rocket in this deck, and it's kind of like another win condition, so there's no real need to go in, especially when I'm up so much already. Just going to pressure again, and he kind of messed up once more by giving me that Rocket value. It actually messes up against the Fire Spirit too, although it doesn't really matter because 2 Rockets is anyway the amount I needed. I'm just going to defense Xbow again. I think I'll Queen to DPS down the Baby Dragon, and Bowler's already taken out, so even if he freezes, he can't really get much. Like, he does freeze, but look at that. My Xbows are getting a lot of value. Notice how I separated my Queen and my Xbows away from my tower, and the Queen away from my Xbows too. So he couldn't really get any kind of freeze value on everything. I'm going to give him the well played and good luck because he was a pretty good sport about it, and I feel like that's a pretty good matchup for me, which is a very welcome change considering, like I said, I've been getting countered every single match with 3.0 at least. But we're at 15 wins now, guys. I'm honestly kind of stressed because, again, this meta is so hard for Xbow, and I've already lost twice. Okay, Princess at the bridge, just going to go for a Knight. Doesn't fortunately get 1 hit. Looks like it's going to be Logbait, hopefully not the Mighty Miner Logbait deck. Okay, it looks like it isn't going to be because of guards. I'm actually going to Xbow and probably force out a Rocket, since most Logbait decks these days do run Rocket. And that guard should be fine. Okay, somehow it gets a hit. I always underestimate when guards are going to get a hit or not, I feel like, because, I don't know, like, I guess they're just quite an underrated card, but they're very much an overpowered card as well. I think a lot of people do recognize that, so I guess not too underrated, but I can just set up with a Queen in the back pretty safely here, and it looks like it is going to be this classic Logbait deck. I'm actually tempted to Rocket that Valkyrie. I think I will, because my Queen will still force a response, and he can't exactly Rocket me, because again, I'm playing Xbow. I mean, he can if he wants to, but it'll be pretty bad for him. So Queen does go invisible and does get a really nice hit on the tower. Perfect, gonna go Knight for the Princess, cycling back to my log for the barrel, and he actually messes up with those guards. I mean, it was a good idea, but my Knight targeted the Princess anyway, so kind of messed up there. Unfortunately, the other guard does dodge my Fire Spirit Blast, but yeah, so Fire Spirit was nerfed. I was meaning to talk about this, but I'm still really comfortable with this deck because, again, I have lost to Drill so many times with 3.0. I'm actually really tilted about Drill right now, and I really dislike it. I think it's really overpowered. I know a lot of people, especially people in mid-ladder, say Drill isn't that broken, but I really think it's a really broken card. Gonna Xbow and Skeletons. Yeah, he does try and defend this without the rocket. I'm actually gonna go for a log because Tesla isn't that good of a card. Yeah, it doesn't actually get another hit because they did nerf its hit speed, right? So just like that, we do get a connection. Tesla before would always fully counter an Xbow. I think it still can, but if you log last second, you'll be fine. I'm going to predict his Princess with this cannon here. Nice, we do get it off. Fire Spirit for the barrel as well. We do actually take some stabs, unfortunately. I'm actually pretty bad at the Fire Spirit timing for fully countering a barrel. I think you need to push it with something, but still, I'm not super experienced with this deck, but I still feel like it's way less stressful and a lot more lenient to play. And yeah, like I said, he can't really rocket me back because even though he does just now, I will Xbow and Knight instantly to predict the Tesla, and he's going to be in quite a lot of trouble here because he just uses rocket. Usually this would be a ton of rocket value for him, but since he doesn't have it, this is going to be really nice. And okay, somehow that Tesla bypassed my cannon, so I guess that placement is pretty good for him. I'm going to Xbow in the right. He's actually kind of catching up because we're kind of even in the left, so that's not that good actually. And he might Princess the bridge here, and he does, yeah, but I couldn't really afford... This is the thing with Logbait. They always have this sort of Princess pressure, where you kind of, like, it's pressuring the fact that they could always Princess at the bridge, but they can kind of take advantage of the fact that you have to predict that. Anyways, I'm going to rocket. Unfortunately, I took more damage there. Again, I tried to push the Fire Spirit to fully counter the barrel. Looks like the interaction didn't work out in my favor, though. And I'm going to Xbow in the right, maybe bait out a rocket, and Knight as well, just in case he tries to defend this without a Tesla, or without a rocket. And he does, actually, so I'm going to log, and because my Queen 3-card cycle was active, I'm actually back to another Xbow in the left, so I'm definitely going to go for that. This one should definitely force out a rocket, but I'm going to go cannon just in case he once again tries to defend this with a Tesla. And looks like he is probably going to rocket this, yeah. But we do actually get a nice connection. Now, I have to be really careful of a Princess at the bridge, and I actually did predict it, but it was a bit too late, unfortunately. But still, we are 2 rockets away from winning, and he is not. He needs like 3 logs and 2 rockets, so I think we actually do have this one in the bag. Not going to Xbow anymore, even on defense, because that would be too slow. I think it's just 6 elixir, not really necessary to be used. Just going to chuck the first rocket, as he's probably going to rocket me back. And I could honestly Xbow here, but I think it's safer to just get back to another rocket, because again, I am literally just going to win with the rocket, and there's no reason to kind of mess up and play around with my game plan there. So that's a really nice win against Logbait. I feel like that is my matchup without Mighty Miner in that deck, without them having the super fast cycle, for sure. But he looks like he is kind of upset about losing that. But 16 wins, let's go. We are 1 away from the badge. So this is where I was last time. I was 16-2, and then I lost out to the really annoying Goblin Drill deck. Let's see what we go up against, though. GG. Magic Archer in his banner, so hopefully it's going to be P.E.K.K.A. I have not really faced any P.E.K.K.A at all, unfortunately. Like, one of the only good matchups. Okay, Lava is not what I really want to see. Gonna Expo same lane, though. This is what I always do against Lavahound. Because, yeah, he flying machines, I'll just Queen. And this could be either Lava Miner or Lava Clone, and I'm not even sure which one I'd rather it be, because I think Lava matchups in general are pretty bad for this deck. Gonna defend my Queen, though, with the Knight as well, because I do need that DPS on the Lavahound. And with Lumberjack in here, it is going to be Lava Clone. With Skelly Barrel, I'm actually not sure at all, but I'm just going to log the Skeletons away. And Fire Spirit should pressure pretty well. It does take out those few pups, and we are up 1000 HP right now. So this is actually pretty much the best start I could have asked for. I think that was a really nice micro defense against the Lava, and protecting my Queen to make sure it takes out the Lavahound, because this is a really hard situation with this deck, any Lavahound matchup, especially if they have like Clone and Flying Machine, because normally if you have Expo Fireball you'd be fine, but since I do have the Rocket, it's kind of awkward. I do probably need to just rocket the Flying Machines, but it's obviously just a 6 elixir Fireball essentially. But let's see, he does go for the flying machine. I think my play is to rocket that because queen is nowhere near in cycle right now, so if I just waited for the queen, I think it wouldn't have been worth it. I would have had to play cards to cycle anyways, would have been kind of bad. So he does go for the skelly barrel. I think I'll just log it off and then probably go for a late queen on all this lava. And Fire Spirit does still do a pretty good job at cleaning bats up. By the way, the Fire Spirit nerf, okay, he goes for a Skarmy, so I wish I had login cycle for that. Sadly, I don't, but hopefully queen defends this just fine if I pop ability. Okay, I don't think I'm defending that, unfortunately. Maybe I shouldn't have gone queen, but I don't know, because I think it was worth it to try. I think this is not a great situation for me, but it's still okay, as long as I am able to take the right side tower. And going same lane isn't that bad. I can't go on the left right now, because he can just play whatever he wants right on top of my Xbow. And I'm going to make sure I hit this rocket. Okay, yeah, looks like I do hit the flying machine. If you miss a rocket like that, you literally lose, so you have to be very precise in these matchups. I feel like lava is quite a hard matchup for this deck, because again, you only do have the Fire Spirit and Queen for air defense. Gonna go for low Queen like this, tucked all the way behind the tower so that he can't attack it with anything. That was such a nice log. And Cannon just to stall these pups, and looks like we are actually gonna win. Nice, because I can Xbow when I hit 8, and then I'm gonna predict his Lumberjack with my Knight. He gives the good game, and nice, because that's basically where they always play their troop. So it looks like I did get the prediction off. Fire Spirit for the bats, and that is just going to be tower. So I'm really actually proud of that game. Normally Lavahound is a pretty hard matchup, especially Lava Clone, when I don't have anything for the flying machine except rocket, and that is on. And he had Skelly Barrel as well, just kind of a weird Lava Clone variant there, but that's going to be 17 wins, guys, so let's go. That's going to be the badge. My last attempt was 16, so this is already better than my other record. Actually going to screenshot that, and I'll show you guys the badge over here. Should be on my profile. Yeah, so there you go. I've earned the 17 wins in the badge, in the challenge rather, to unlock the badge. It doesn't actually show up the number. It used to. The badges used to show how many wins you got. I feel like it was better that way, but still, we got 17 wins. We got our 17 win badge. Let's keep it moving. And yeah, that was honestly a really nice win against kind of a hard matchup. Found the next match against P.E.K.K.A. Okay, so not sure. This is the first day. Okay, another Logbait matchup. Again, hopefully it's not Mighty Miner Bait. Now this is the first day, first few hours, so it's really anyone's game. Some people would say it's better to wait a few days to play the challenge. I definitely think that is the case for you guys. If you think you're not very confident, I would advise you guys to wait a few days to play the 20-win challenge, because that way you can kind of go up against people who are easier. But, well, it's not to say that like those people are bad. Also going to pressure with this queen, hope I can get the ability off in time. And I do. Nice. So queen is going to get 1, 2, 3 hits on the tower, I think. That is absolutely amazing. And now we're just straight up 1k damage. So again, queen is so nice. Like archers could not have forced that interaction. And something I love is just the Xbow queen mechanics and dynamics, where you have an Xbow, you have a queen pushing or walking up, and you can either Xbow same lane or opposite lane depending on what you want to do, and you can really just spread them thin. Just now, notice how he couldn't really rocket both, and I am tempted to just naked rocket his tower, but I think I don't really need to. It's kind of just a silly play, so I won't do it. And I'm actually just going to leak right here. I'm totally fine leaking. Okay, I could rocket that princess. Queen wouldn't make sense, I think, so I'll just knight. I would rocket that if it was same lane, but there's no point because that's just a -3, and that tower damage does not matter at all in that lane. So I'm going to cycle back to my log. Okay, actually, if you saw the tap indicator there, I did try and play my log, but it didn't get played. But he just committed quite a lot with that Valk and log, I feel like. He shouldn't be back to rocket right away in terms of elixir. Yeah, he's going for this, and he goes for guards. Going to try and kite them to the side with my Fire Spirit and Skeletons. And Xbow should also take out the Princess, because it is kind of nudged up towards the side there. And that is going to be an Xbow on tower. Nice. Gonna Queen for this Princess, and just like that, we are once again up like 600 damage. And Queen is again counter-pushing. So I just love this dynamic of the Queen. You have like multiple offensive threats with the Queen against Logbait matchups. And I'm going to rocket here. Queen almost got a hit. I think I don't... Okay, he rockets back. So I'm definitely just going to Xbow straight up. And Knight to predict the Inferno tower, because usually they do play Inferno in this deck. And again, this is where it gets really nice, because you have a fast cycle. It's not like Icebow where you don't really have that fast of a cycle. We're gonna log that princess. I think we win because he's not really back to anything in hand for this, and Xbow's just on tower. That's gonna be GG. All we have to do is defend this. Gonna try and push, and okay, he actually played that pretty well in the front. So my Fire Spirit, he actually got quite a few stabs there. We're gonna Xbow anyways. One of my friends looks like he's giving the global tourney emote. I'll give it as well. But yeah, gonna Ken as well. That's gonna be a really nice win. So pretty refreshing against Logbait there. Finally not going up against Mighty Miner, which I'm really grateful for because I really do hate the Mighty Miner version and the matchup. Because I have multiple cycle cards and the Mighty Miner for a 3-card cycle. You can never really break through there. But we get the Legendary King's Chest. This is really cool as well. Lots of nice rewards. Even though for me, my account is not exactly maxed, but everything I really want to use is maxed. Like all my cycle card substitutes, all my Xbow, Hog, champions are all maxed as well. But still, it's always nice to get this gold and star points, I guess. As well as just getting legendaries and champions. I think I'm going to go Lavahound there. And I could get a lot of gold from the Golem, but I'm going to go Goblin Giant just to kind of max up my card stack here. And this is just going to be a free 40k gold, so that's a really nice reward, honestly. I'm going to get like 50k gold from this chest or something. Yeah, that was pretty much exactly 50k or 49k if I'm not mistaken, so that was really nice. And just like that, our badge is upgraded to 18 wins, guys. Sadly, it doesn't show on the profile, but let's keep it going. I'm not gonna stop now. I have to get this. I've come so far, and I really don't want to try again. Like I really just want to give it my best and just go for it. So into the next match against another Japanese player. I kind of recognize his name actually, but I'm not entirely sure because I can't really speak Japanese. But a Mighty Miner comes down, gonna queen, and not sure what it's gonna be because it wouldn't be Logbait. He wouldn't have been leaking at the start. Those Logbait decks, like, they literally go Princess at the bridge first play. Tombstone, okay, I think it's going to be Graveyard. It's weird, though, because Splashyard has suddenly started running Mighty Miner, at least some people. Like, one of my friends, Jasper, okay, I'm going to go Knight to predict the Ice Wiz because he just went for a Baby Dragon, going to log this Barb, and Ice Wiz, and just barely do get my Queen ability off in time as well. And Xbow is on tower, right? Looks like he didn't have enough elixir for the Mighty Miner in time. That is huge. Gonna protect my Xbow with Skeleton. Should force out the ability. So I guess he was always gonna ability there, so maybe I shouldn't have gone Skeletons, but I can just cannon anyways, and this is where like cannon is so much better than Tesla. I haven't really talked about this either, but by the way, sadly like 3.0 is in such a bad spot. Also because most of the cards in the deck just aren't really good anymore. Like Tesla is really not great. Not sure why it got screenshotted there, but Tesla is just a really bad card right now. I feel like it's certainly average, if not just barely above average, but there's no way it's like a B tier or A tier card. It's at highest B tier, if not like C tier. And I definitely think Tesla could use a buff, like maybe reverting the previous change that they did, which was nerfing its hit speed. But anyways, I have quite a few spectators now, so is my opponent, and I'm definitely happy to just leak here because again, I'm up 1,000 damage on the right, and anything I do could bait something out. If I go Knight, it'll just kind of be a wasted Knight, I feel like, because he might go for a Graveyard or something. If I go Queen, he might just poison it. But let's see what he's going to do. I'm just going to react to whatever he does. Okay, he goes Baby Dragon Graveyard. I actually really messed up there. I meant to go Queen on the Baby Dragon and Knight on the Graveyard, not the other way around. And I didn't really want to log there because I already spent 8 elixir, but sadly that was pretty bad. Gonna Expo now. I actually really messed up. That was not very clean of me. And he might Mighty Miner ability to switch lanes. I feel like that would be pretty good, but he just lets the Mighty Miner die to the Queen. Okay, he does pop the ability last second, but I'm going to Expo because if you guys didn't know, Champion Cycle functions kind of weirdly. Going to log the Tombstone, maybe get a connection. Okay, he does get Ice Wiz down last second, but he's still not back to Mighty Miner, I think. Okay, he was, but he again just barely didn't have enough elixir. Perfect, so it's going to be really nice. Going to go for a cannon here to stall. Gonna have to kite the Mighty Miner inwards with my Knight, and just like that we're up 1,000 HP again, so we are coming back. And this Graveyard, I mean, I understood the idea behind it, but it's not really gonna do much, and if he poisons, I think he loses. So I think I could just rocket here. Yeah, I think I will, because I could also defensive Expo, but I'm confident enough going for this because I have a Queen counter pushing too. It'll probably take out whatever he goes for. So Queen takes out the Ice Wiz, and I might have to cycle back to a rocket here actually because this is looking kind of sketchy, so I'm just going to rocket that and then log. And actually it looks like a really clean defense. I mean, I took like 3 or 4 skeleton hits there, but This deck doesn't have great graveyard defenses because you don't have archers. Usually Xbow decks with archers like 3.0 would do really well, but without the archers it's not that easy. Cannon is pretty good though. Cannon is definitely better than Tesla against graveyard. And so yeah, I actually stopped myself with my train of thought there earlier, but I was basically saying like Tesla's such a weak card, Cannon is such a broken card on the other hand. That's another reason why I wanted to play this deck. Also just gonna defensive Xbow. I think his tower is just in rocket plus log range, just gonna block the graveyard, tank Baby Dragon at the bridge, and that's a play I really like to make, especially in triple when like you're about to win. You literally just block their tank at the bridge, the tower helps out against the graveyard, and you're in a really nice spot. And just like that, I think we won. It's a really nice win there. 419 wins, guys. The tension is getting insane, but I'm really, really happy with how I've been doing so well. I think, or so far, I think I'm playing pretty well, and 19 wins is once again going to boost up our badge to a 19 win badge, but obviously I don't want to stop there. I can't be stopped. I have to get the 20. So it's now or never. I'm just going to go. I'm not going to wait. My heart is actually kind of pounding a bit, but found it against Ruhrpott Omar. I actually do recognize this name as well. I feel like I've played against this guy before, but he's going to be a pretty good player, obviously. I mean, we're at 19 wins, so he's going to be at 19 or 18 himself. But here we go. Wallbreakers, drill. Okay, drill Wallbreakers. I can kind of work with this. Depends on what it's going to be, though. There are quite a few versions this could be. And he goes for the drill in a side, in a placement that not many people actually go for. So that was kind of interesting. Dark Goblin. Okay, so I think it's going to be the Skelly King Inferno Tower deck. And I just used my log, so I'm kind of scared. Yeah, he's actually going to spam me pretty hard here. Yeah, he is, Skelly. Wow, I'm going to have to cycle back to my log as fast as I can. I am back to it now, though. Good thing about playing a really fast cycle deck, and log takes out the Dark Goblin too, plus he's going to have to respond to this queen probably with a fireball. I'm pretty sure this deck runs fireball and then Fire Spirit I think as the last few cards. I'm just going to log, or just going to queen rather, and fireball does take it out, so maybe a wasted ability. But if he didn't go for the fireball, then the ability would have been good, so I guess it was fine. But looks like we are up against Skelly King Drill Breakers for the 20 win. I think this is pretty good. Again, this is why I specifically played Fire Spirit. Gonna Skellies to predict the Inferno as we get it off, and then gonna go Knight, and sadly I can't do anything about the Wallbreakers. Wallbreakers are incredibly strong against Xbow for only 2 elixir. They take out like half the Xbow, as well as any support on it. Like it nukes a knight, it nukes your skeletons, any Tesla or buildings. But I think I can win this if I play well enough. I mean, I do have the rocket, which I think is better for me than a fireball, because I mean fireball will help me break through against like an Inferno Tower if I want to fireball it off, but rocket again provides an alternate win condition that I think just the value of which can't really be understated, especially because against a matchup like this, if I can't really break through, I can honestly just rocket. And he goes for a really aggressive drill plus log there. Gonna go for a log of my own, but sadly that gets a ton of damage. Definitely gonna go for an Xbow here with my queen. I am giving him some fireball value and he's gonna take it, but goes for the Wallbreakers, gonna pop ability. Skelly army comes down, and I think he's actually not really back to anything. Yeah, Dark Goblin looks like he doesn't have enough elixir for the Skelly King. And wow, he actually has a log in this deck. I wasn't expecting that, but since he just spent like his entire elixir bar, it felt like I'm gonna go in again. Pre-Knight as well, kind of setting up to protect against the Inferno Tower preemptively. And I think he might Skelly King here. I think I'm going to block it with my queen, and then log the Wallbreakers back, and hopefully queen takes both of them out. Okay, sadly one blows up, but ability comes down, and this is the great thing about Xbow. It hits so fast, and it one-shots those skeletons, and just like that, we do get a connection. I think I'm going to have to keep up the pressure. I'm going to go again, but I can't afford to go for a Knight here. Gonna Fire Spirit and then log, and looks like once again we caught him without a Skelly King in cycle. And gonna cannon to predict whatever. Wallbreakers come down, and looks like that cannon actually did buy me a couple seconds of Xbow connection time, so that's actually absolutely huge. I'm definitely gonna take it. Gonna go for another drill, gonna predict it with the Knight, and we do get the prediction off perfect. I think I'm just gonna rocket tower here. No point going in because he is back to Skelly King now, but notice how in this matchup I'm basically manipulating his cycle, and every time he doesn't have Skeleton King in cycle, or every time he plays a Skeleton King, I know he's not going to get back to it for quite a long time, so I've been constantly going with Xbows, taking advantage of that fact. Gonna cannon because I cannot afford to take any Wallbreakers damage at all. Sadly, one Skeleton's kind of going to town there, but gonna Xbow with my queen, Skeleton as well to predict the Inferno Tower. And by the way, this is the other great thing about Fire Spirit. It fully kills that Goblin on the drill, and then you can just fully counter with a log, so that's just a +1 trade. Gonna Knight here for the Skelly King plus Wallbreaker. and we actually do get an Xbow on tower. He just uses log as well, so he has no response to this right now. Going for kind of a last second drill attempt. As long as I defend this, I win. Oh my god, gonna skeletons for the Dark Goblin. Gonna log these goblins out of the drill. And I think we won, guys. Oh my god, just gonna rocket and let's go. I can't believe it. I'm gonna give the 20 win emote. Very fitting because we just got 20 wins, but I am ecstatic. Like, I can't really put into words how happy I am right now because I've been stressing out so much over the last 2 attempts. I know I only did it in 3 attempts, which is really nice, honestly. I think last year it took me 4 to get 20 wins. I did get it on the first day, though, last year. So I'm, again, really happy. First 6 or 7 hours or so of the challenge, I think probably not more than about 100 or 200 people would have finished it by now. So I can definitely say I was one of the first couple of hundred to get 20 wins. But yeah, I've been grinding with it, and I'm honestly really happy because it's such a hard meta for Xbow. I mean, you guys saw the matchups in my battle log. Today I got a bit more lucky, but I also beat some other really hard matchups earlier. Like, I beat Recruit's Cannon Cart, Flying Machine, and I don't even have a Fireball in my deck. I also beat Giant Double Prince with Miner. But yeah, let's go. I can't believe it. As you can see, 10 wins first attempt, 16 wins second attempt, and 20 wins. So just linear, or not even linear, but like just really good progress. And these are all the matchups that I had. Again, I beat Giant Double Prince with the Miner, pretty hard matchup. I lost to Miner Balloon Cycle, which is a really hard matchup because I only have 1 queen. And I beat Golden Knight Recruit's Cannon Cart and also Giant Sparky Mirror. With the Minion Horde isn't an easy matchup because I don't have anything for the Horde. Fire Spirit doesn't really do it. But oh my god, that looks so nice, that tick there. And I am just so happy, guys. I can't believe it. I think, just in the spirit of the recording, I'll probably show you guys some more replays, because I might as well now that I'm already here. But I'm just really happy again that I was able to get it. I'm just stoked. And I'm also happy I was able to share it with you guys. But yeah, third attempt, QueenBow 3.4. I'm glad I trusted my instincts. I mean, I did really want to do it with 3.0. But yeah, I'm still just really, really happy, as you can tell. And my friend says nice 20 wins, let's go. And just like that, guys, here is the badge. I'll show it to you, the 2022 CRL 20 win badge. And as you can see, I have all the CRL badges. 2020, by the way, was the No Tilt League, which also had a 20 win challenge, but they didn't give you a badge or an emote, so I didn't get that, sadly. But let me switch out my badge for the 2022 one right now, and it looks really nice, especially with my number 22 global tournament finish there. Just all the 22s kind of stacking up. Looks very beautiful. But yeah, I guess I'll show you guys these replays now because might as well, since I'm still here, and might as well. I know a lot of people wanted to see like a longer video for 20 wins, and because normally when I upload my challenge videos, like classic challenges, people ask for the full one or many wins, so I might as well just show you guys a few more replays. I think I'll show you guys the ones that are really important, like this one and the other 2 against the hard matchups. Those 2, by the way, were both insane comebacks. I really can't wait to show that to you guys. But let's get into this one against Giant Double Prince with the Miner. So it's going to be a pretty hard matchup since he does have the Miner for guaranteed direct tower damage. And I don't have an Ice Spirit, so I can't actually reset the Miner. I can't really catch it unless I guess it perfectly every single time. But here he goes for this push. And I think I made the right call by protecting my Queen with the Knight, because I would have had to go Knight anyways, and Queen is the only thing that can really hit that Mega Minion. So I think that was a really good play. And now I have him in a really bad cycle. He has Miner, E-Wiz, Zap, and Fireball, and I know that for a fact. So I go for an Xbow here, and I know he's going to have to defend this in kind of an awkward way. So I think this is a pretty good situation. He does go for the E-Wiz plus Miner, but I kind of predict or protect everything. And with that perfect log timing, I do get it off. And he could have gone Dark Prince there, but I think he would have lost because I would have gone Knight in front, and then he wouldn't have had enough. And here I go for a really nice Queen because he just uses Fireball. Has to go for the Dark Prince, but Queen actually does counter Dark Prince on their side perfectly, and Queen is now on tower. So my opponent does go for a Zap, but the damage is done. I get a huge lead, and just like that, the simple single elixir punishing, I was able to get a really nice lead, and that is basically how I beat Giant Double Prince. Here I go again. I had a feeling since he went for that Zap pretty late, he was really low on elixir. Sadly, he just barely had enough for the Giant in time, but I just go for a cannon just to finish it off, and I actually go for skeletons as well, just to kind of pressure him. As you can see, it kind of got to him, and as you can see as well, if he didn't go for that Miner, I actually would have gotten another like 400 plus damage there. So that's something I really like to do, just kind of adding defenders, adding layers to your Xbow last second, like cannon, skeletons, log, when they might not expect it. And I do rocket this Mega Minion. Maybe it was a bit aggressive, but I feel like it was fine, especially because it is in the lane that I want to go for. But now I recognize he's setting up for a giant push in the right. I could have gone for an Xbow on the left to kind of distract him, but I think I needed all the defensive resources I could have gotten here, so I just chose to full defend. And he can't actually kill my queen, which is huge. Like, if I had archers here, like through P.E.K.K.A, he would have been able to just fireball my archers off whenever he wanted, but because I have a queen instead, it's doing so much more work on defense. And here I just pressure because I did outcycle his giant by 2 cards. Sadly, he is back in time though, but queen just kind of shreds the Mega Minion there. And here I'm kind of debating if I should protect this cannon or not, and I kind of don't, but then I decide later on I kind of have to defend against the Dark Prince, so I do play my stuff after. I go for an Xbow and then Knight, and I went for an Xbow first because I would be able to cycle back to a second Xbow sooner, rather than if I went for a Knight and then went for the Xbow after. So that's just kind of a card exercise, card order exercise there. And cannon actually does force out the zap, and here I go for an Xbow. It was already kind of pre-placed in my like reflexes, because in my mind I just thought I had a really favorable position, but obviously Prince unfortunately got 1 hit on the cannon, so it wasn't the best. But here, as you can see, I again go for that last second log. I do get 1 Xbow tick out of it, so in a way that was a pre-nerf log, because I got another like 50 or so damage from my Xbow. But that's what I was talking about with those last second kind of unexpected layers. And here I just go for a really nice micro defense, kiting everything to the middle, keeping my queen perfectly healthy as well. And he is about to go for another giant push. This is the only downside though of using queen. You only have 1. And I could have rocketed on defense here, but I also realized my queen abilities there. It's kind of hard to micromanage everything, but just as you can see, on 1 HP, my queen goes to town and just takes his tower. And I BM him here. I'm gonna be honest, guys, like, some people might not like BM, but I was very, very tilted from my previous losses, so I think I BM'd the other guys that this cannon cart deck as well. But let's show it to you guys. Royal recruits Royal Hogs is already a hard counter. Then they added the Golden Knight in there, which is hard counters even more. Then they have the Flying Machine, which is normal, but I don't have Fireball, I'm playing with Rocket, so that actually is just straight up a hard counter. But as if that wasn't bad enough, he also has the cannon cart in this deck. So this is quite literally everything you'd possibly want to counter an Xbow deck. I guess the only thing is he maybe could have had Earthquake instead of Barb Barrel to make it like a 1000-0 matchup. But still, you'll see I take quite a beating early on. He goes for recruits, and I go for Xbow. I could have gone Xbow on the left. I think it actually would have locked on. I mean, he does go for the Goblin Cage either way, but again, like I was talking about in the Logbait matchup, I do like to go for that Xbow Queen dynamic, where you're kind of separating them and pushing with them. And here I notice how I'm playing very conservatively on the right. I did not go for my Knight, just kind of rashly and just kind of going without thinking, just, oh, I have to defend, so I'm going to go for a Knight. I recognized that there were 2 lanes to defend, and he might have supported in the left, and so by holding on to my Knight, I was able to defend against the cannon cart. If I used my Knight on the right, I might have just lost to that cannon cart, because you don't really have many answers to cannon cart in Xbow decks other than a Knight, usually. And I, again, didn't even know he had cannon cart, but that just shows you guys, like, if you come prepared, if you play well, you can be prepared for really any situation. And here he goes for the Zappies, and I do go for a Knight last second to protect my queen against the Zappies and Golden Knight. Sadly, they do still take out the queen with the help of that Barb Barrel, but otherwise I'm fine. I did get 2 queen hits in the left, which was really nice, so he kind of messed up there. I guess he wanted to sack the damage and just go for the cannon cart at the bridge, which was a really nice idea, but because of my really nice micro defense as well, I was actually able to save my Knight for the cart. And even, like I was saying, if you play safe in those situations, and let's have really good fundamentals, you can have a pretty good situation even against like unfamiliar setups, like a random cannon cart in this recruits deck. I was able to defend that, and I just rocket here. That was probably the rocket that almost lost me the game. I remembered that I lost like by a few thousand, or I took a few thousand HP of my tower here, or he took a few thousand HP off my tower. And I'm just barely getting my cards down, as you can see. Just thank God I defend against the flying machine in time. Otherwise, that would have taken my entire tower. But I take 1,500 damage there, and that is honestly, that was my bad. I mean, I literally rocketed 2 royal recruits, missed the cannon cart, but still, if I had a fireball, I wouldn't have had to worry about any of that. Could have just fireballed the flying machine off right away. But I do go for the defensive Xbow, and my Fire Spirit pressure does pay off, forces out a pretty awkward cage. And here I really want to go for the queen, but I recognize that he is going to flying machine, and I kind of do have to save my queen for the flying machine. But really nice protection of my cannon here, and then now I go for the queen on the flying machine, and Fire Spirit just to make sure the cannon cart gets taken out before it really does too much. And I am kind of coming back, although I'm not going to come back in this game unless I get an Xbow connection. So how exactly do I get an Xbow connection? Let's wait and find out. But here I do defend my cannon with the Knight, and Golden Knight dash is still ridiculous, but here is where I recognized I had a really nice defense, and he went for that really overcommit style flying machine, and because of that, I'm able to get a connection. Here I was kind of micromanaging both lanes, you know, defending against the bar barrel, also making sure I get the perfect timing Fire Spirit against the flying machine, and here I protect my Xbow with literally everything I have. So this was pretty much just a perfect comeback. Like, I defended really well. He overcommitted on offense. If he didn't go for that flying machine, he wouldn't have lost. But he did. Again, this was only at like 6 wins or so players weren't even that great. It was really just a really terrible matchup, and also me rocketing nothing. But here, I just recognize, you know, one more rocket log and I win. And again, like I was saying, I was really tilted. Number 1 from the 3.0 matches that I played before. Number 2 from the fact that I thought I lost at like 6 wins against this guy. So that's why I was BMing, but forgive me guys if you dislike that. And let's get into the final replay here against Giant Sparky Mirror. And you might think that this is a pretty good matchup, because I mean, I have Rocket for the Sparky, I have Cannon for the Giant, 2 pretty much perfect counters. But he has the Minion Horde and he has the Mirror. And here he actually does kind of starting hand me, because I go Queen. I mean, I think Queen is a fine play, but he goes Sparky and I don't have Rocket, so in my opinion, that was really unlucky starting hand, because you never want to play into a Sparky. It sucks. And you will see I literally get punished so hard for that. If I could just Rocket that Sparky, I would have been totally fine, but because I couldn't, the Queen just dies. It kind of just feeds 6, it's like a free Sparky, because it was 6 elixir Queen plus ability for a 6 elixir Sparky. And he goes for the Mirror here, and now I'm really worried, because I have to get a nice Rocket off on the Sparky and the Giant, and I do just barely time it perfectly. I do also get a really nice Fire Spirit off on the bats, but I still have a level 13 Giant pummeling away at my tower, and I do log it back. But it got so much damage, and that, as you can see, I'm tilted. I'm upset, because if I had Rocket for the Sparky, none of this would have happened. So I was already down over 1,000 HP to start out with, and this is like those Logbait games that I played half an hour ago, where I won, and I was up like 1,000 in single. This is like that, but reversed, and I'm on the receiving end this time. And now I Xbow like in opposite of a Sparky, and now the Minion Horde just kind of screws me, because I don't have a Fireball. I don't have arrows, I don't have archers, I don't have any great Minion Horde counters, except for the Queen, which doesn't really count, because if I went Queen on that Minion Horde, I would have lost to this Giant Sparky push on the left. But I do get a really nice micro defense here. He goes for a zap on the Fire Spirit, which is huge, and Queen just does work. And here was honestly so unlucky, I feel like. Cannon, the Sparky just doesn't target the cannon, and I mean, maybe that was my mistake. There are 2 things I could have done there. Number 1, I could have logged the Sparky into the cannon, probably would have been the play. But 2, I could have played the cannon 1 tile to the left against the Giant, and I might just do that now. I do get a small connection though. He does unfortunately arrows away my skeleton, so he does get a mini P.E.K.K.A hit on my Xbow. But yeah, now he literally mirror arrows on my tower, and I'm honestly quite upset, because I feel like he's just going to spell cycle me out, and I cannot just Xbow either. I think I have to I defensive Xbow, because if I offensive Xbow, he will literally just Sparky into it, or Giant, or Mirror Giant, or whatever he wants. Here I Rocket the Sparky, because I want to keep my Queen alive, I want to pressure, and I do want to force elixir out of my opponent. So as you can see, just because I did that, I could have just let the Queen take out the Sparky without going for a Rocket, but because of that pressure, I get this really nice Xbow here, and he goes for a Giant, but I think this might be the winning push. Like, here I go for this, as I was talking about, adding last second layers to your defense. Fire Spirit for the bats, log that back, and just like that, I won. So amazing comeback again. You know, I was down so much, I was scared for my life. I thought I was going to lose at like 4 wins or however. I think this was like 7 or 8. But I thought I was going to lose for sure. And here I start BMing, then I realize, okay, I actually need another log, so I should probably chill out, cycle back to a log before continuing my BM, but then I continue it. But yeah, again, you know, usually when I'm really tilted, I do BM people, so apologies if that kind of offends you guys. But still, 3.0 was so bad, and it was kind of just carrying over from that. But I guess I do apologize if anyone got upset about that. But other than that, that's going to be 20 wins, and I did a better job of not really BMing people at the end, I guess. But my friend congratulated me on getting 20 wins. That's definitely going to be Xbow's matchup. That's actually Gems, one of my friends. And you guys probably know him as a YouTuber as well. But let's go, guys. We won the challenge, and I might be sounding kind of tired because it is kind of late for me. I've been playing for quite a while today. And as I said before, look at these matchups. Drill, Mortar, Cannon Cart, Arrows, Logbait, Rocket, E-Giant, Mirror that I won. So honestly, just a very tiring day, but I'm so happy I was finally able to get the 20 win on the first day, and really happy to bring this video to you guys as well. So, hope you enjoyed, very glad to be able to post this for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, take care, and I will see you in the next one.